Hey there students, it's time to study for exam 3 for BADM 320, Principles of Marketing. If you look in the back of your book, if you look at question 1, it says, which part of the product life cycle is noted for having the lowest prices for consumers? That is the exam we're going to be going through. But before I get started, I just want to review a few things for this third exam. 1, remember, you're going to be covering topics 11 through 15, okay? So you've got new product development, service marketing, pricing, supply chain management, and advertising, okay? So those are the main topics we're covering here. Now, in this exam I have here, the semester I gave this, I actually had branding in this exam. That's why there's like 10 questions that have disappeared from this exam, just because it's not in exam 3 for you, and I don't want you freaking out thinking, I got to study branding? No, not for this exam, okay? So that's not in this one. So if you're going through and thinking, why are there questions missing? That's why. All right, so let's get started. Number 1. Oh yeah, and your exam will be 50 multiple choice questions, pretty straightforward, kind of like this exam. So, you know, we're not reinventing the wheel for the third exam for you, giving you a good idea of what it's going to be like by going through this exam. Okay, so number 1, which part of the product life cycle is noted for having the lowest prices for consumers? That is B, the decline phase. Because remember, when products first come out, usually they're at the highest price possible because they're recouping all their, their costs and they're, first thing coming out. There's just a lot of things they have to deal with. I mean, think about it. When the new iPhone comes out, isn't the higher price than after 2 years later when the price has gone down? Yeah. Same thing. In the product life cycle, the decline phase has the lowest price, okay? And traditionally, introduction has the highest price, all right? Number 2, how do firms come up with ideas for new products? Well, there's lots of ways they can come up with ideas. Looking at competitors' products, yep. Speaking with customers, yeah, I mean, you get ideas from your customers all the time. Using research and development department, yeah, all those things. So actually 2 is D, all of the above, because all those things can really get people ideas and get companies ideas for new products. Okay. Number 3, old farmer Wolters grows and sells potatoes to Wendy's fast food restaurant, who then used the potatoes to make French fries and sells these French fries to customers. Suppose that old farmer Wolters and Wendy's work together on controlling the price of French fries to be passed on to the consumers. This pricing practice would be called what? This is C, horizontal price fixing, and it is illegal, okay? So anytime companies that are competitors or suppliers are trying to artificially set prices, that's price fixing. You can't do it. And so when it's vertical price fixing, it's from different levels of the supply chain, okay? Horizontal price fixing is when people at the same level are. So if it was like gas stations all working together to keep the price of gas high in a town, that would be horizontal price fixing. But in this case, since the farmers that sells the potatoes, that sells the Wendy's, make the fries, and then goes down to the consumer, that's vertical. And price fixing is always illegal, okay? Number 4, what's the Twitter hashtag for this course? That's D, hashtag Wolters World. Nothing too exciting on that one. Especially now that, none of students use Twitter, so not really exciting for you. Number 5, why do firms create new products? You'll notice, I think I asked this question like 3 times in the exam. I must not have been paying much attention when I was writing them. But why do firms create new products? To respond to customer needs. Yeah, customers' needs change over time. To respond to fashion cycles. I mean, things change. I mean, think about it. The types of movies we watch now are different than what we watched 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Kind of cycles through, right? And so taste change, right? We have that. Manage risk through diversity. Yeah, you have to do that too, because if we only sell one kind of product, people stop buying it. We've got a problem. We sell lots of different products. We come with new products. It diversifies our risk. So number 5 is D, all of the above. Okay. Number 6, in order to attract customers, Gold's Gym offers 1 month of free membership for first-time users. Gold's Gym is using the free trial to overcome which area that products and services differ. Well, this is B, the inseparable nature of services. You have to actually do the service to understand what the service is and get it. That's why you'll see all those gyms give you the first month free, or Netflix back in the day would give you like the first month free just to try it out, because they knew once you tried that service, hey, you'd want to buy it, right? And so they had to get you to actually try it for that first time. And that's that inseparable nature of services, okay? Number 7, the marketing of services such as accounting and financial services differ from the product marketing because services are A, intangible. You can't hold on to service. Like I can hold on to this t-shirt, but I can't hold on to the education, right? That's kind of floating in the air, right? Inseparable, yes, because you have to be there for the service to happen. Also variable. I mean, every service is different. I mean, how many of you have a hometown that has multiple McDonald's and you know which one's the good McDonald's and which one's the bad McDonald's, right? So there's just a variable nature, even though it's the same recipes, same stuff, same training, there's different experiences, that variable nature of services. And then perishable, because services, you can't use yesterday's flight. You know, have you ever seen like great prices for flights? You're like, oh, that was for yesterday's flight? Oh, darn, you can't get yesterday's flight. Just like you can't rent yesterday's hotel room. That's why companies will try to inspire people to take those last minute deals, because at least they get some money. At least somebody stays in our hotel room and make 50 bucks versus making no bucks, okay? Next up, number 8. Which of the following is not one of the 4 P's of marketing? That's propaganda, D, okay? Number 9, the difference between what customers expect and what companies think their customers expect is the definition of which gap of the gap models. That is E, the knowledge gap. Because this is the gap between what I think you want versus what you want, and so it's all the knowledge about I have. So to overcome that, that's why they do marketing research, they talk to their customers to find things out. Okay, so 9 is E. 10, Wendy's restaurant and Burger King restaurants waited to see if McDonald's dollar value menu would be a success before they started on their own. This is an example of what? That is B, that's a second mover advantage. They saw that it really worked well for McDonald's and hey, let's do the same thing. What items sold well for McDonald's in their dollar menu? Let's put something like that. I mean, think about it. How many of those value menus you see on the drive-thrus? They're all pretty much the same, right? You got the cheeseburger, you got a hamburger, you got some kind of fry, there's some chicken sandwich, and then there's a low number of nuggets. Maybe it's 4 nuggets or 6 nuggets for $1 or something. They all kind of learned what worked well for McDonald's, or the first mover. So the second mover got that advantage, see what worked and didn't work, okay? Next up, number 11, the supply chain is linked to which of the 4 P's? That is C, place, because supply chain is helping to deliver value and place is all about delivering the value. So that goes there. Number 12, the most important job of advertising is C, persuading customers to buy a product or service. And the thing is, buying, we don't sell, we go out of business. I mean, it's cool to make creative ads, it's cool to inspire people, but at the end of the day, most important thing of advertising is getting people to buy. And that is buying the product, buying the service, buying the idea that you're selling and to support your cause. That's what it's about. Okay, so 12 is C. 13, which of the following is one of the 5 C's of pricing? Customers, well, that's one of the 5 C's. Company objectives, that's one of them. Competition's one of them. So the answer is D. All of the above are some of the 5 C's. The 5 C's. And usually on the exam, I'll have 2 or 3 questions about the 5 C's, so make sure you kind of watch those videos and review those for the exam. Number 14. General Mills advertises their Christmas Crunch brands of breakfast cereal. The taste, anyway, only during the late fall, and that's key, only during the late fall and early winter leading up to Christmas. This is an example of what type of advertising. That is flighting advertising, because it just flies in for that little bit into fall, beginning of winter, and then goes away. You know, because they know that that's the only time we sell, that's the only time I need to advertise. And so companies will do that, okay? There are different ones, and there's other questions I'll go through, but you'll see it in life where there's some companies have different kinds of advertising schedules, okay? 15, when a firm tests products in-house, meaning only within the company, so no actual customers are using the product or testing the product, which type of testing is this considered? That is alpha testing. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have been beta testers, maybe for a software or for a game, right? Like, oh, be a beta tester to see what works and what doesn't work before we do the big release. Well, before they even go to any customers, they do alpha testing. Let's test things out in-house to see if there's any problems, okay? So you have that. So 15 is C. 16, Barnes & Noble stores run commercials throughout the year, but during Christmas season, they increase their advertising on TV and online in order to announce their Christmas book and gift selections. Barnes & Noble is using what kind of advertising schedule? That would be pulsing. Because pulsing, I mean, it says they're running ads throughout the year, but then they pulse up, you know, a little extra push for the holidays, right? And so that's why it's called pulsing, because it just pulses up occasionally. That's why you'll see the push for toys. There'll be more advertising for toys during the holidays or leading up to the holidays. And then when kids go back to school in September, there's another little push there, because that's when people are like, oh, you're going back to school, have a toy, so you don't miss the fact that you're now not going to stay home for 24 hours playing Xbox. You actually go learn now, right? So you have that. Let's see. Number 17. Which type of advertising is best for goods that have gained market acceptance, like Coca-Cola soda? That would be C for 17, reminder advertising, because you don't have to explain to somebody what Coca-Cola is. Oh, it is a sugary liquid in a caramel coloring with a cola flavor with bubbles, and it has a little burn in the back of your throat. It comes in a red can with a squiggly line. Like, you don't need that. You know what Coke is. It's just like, hey, have a Coke and a smile. Don't forget to grab a Coke. Like, you don't have to explain what it is. You're just reminding people to keep it top of mind, so when they go to the store or they go to the gas station and get a drink, they grab Coca-Cola to remind people for that. Just trying to keep it top of mind, okay? Number 18, which of the following is the correct order for the product life cycle? That is D. You have the introduction phase, then the growth phase, then the maturity phase, then the decline phase. And if you look at it in terms of kind of strategies, you have differentiation strategies in that introduction phase and the growth phase, because you're making different products. It's something new, something different, trying to be different than your competition. And then once you hit that maturity phase, a lot of the products are very similar. And so we move from product differentiation strategy to cost leadership strategy. We got to make it cheaper so we can make more money that way. So in maturity and decline phase, you have much more cost leadership strategies. Okay. We're moving on to number 19. So remember, 18 was D, 19. People that refuse to go to movie theaters to watch movies and refuse to rent the DVD, but are glad to watch the movie for free on TV would most likely fit into which category of diffusion of innovation? That would be C, the laggards. Those are people at the very end. They may never ever get the product. You may not ever make money for them, but they might get it in another way. That's why I always find it good, is the kind of the thought of ever watched a movie because you didn't want to get up to get the remote to change the channel. Those kind of people, right? So you're looking at that. And that's why most of the times if you're using diffusion of innovation, you don't really go for those laggards. They're just anything that gets left over at the end. It's a bonus. They buy anything. You don't expect much. Now, number 20. What is a reason companies develop new products? Remember, I told you I asked this question way too often. Improve a company image? Yeah, think about it. McDonald's came up with more healthier options to improve their image. To be innovative? Yeah, some companies, that's what it's all about. We want to make new stuff so it seems like we're being more innovative. I mean, we got to have a new iPhone to show that we're still being creative. So that's one of the things. To make money? Yeah, new products help you make more money? Yep. Keep up with the competition? Yeah, so actually 20 is E. All the above could be reasons to start a new product. All right. 21. The switch from VHS tape recordings to DVD was very quick due to the superior video and audio quality of DVDs versus VHS tapes. Honestly, it is night and day. If you go find one of those Disney tapes at your parents' house or your grandparents' house that they had for your parents when they were kids, put that on and then just go stream it on Disney Plus. You're like, whoa, that is like night and day. Yeah, okay, so it was a real deal. Anyway, which factor would this example best relate to in diffusion of innovation theory? That is A, relative advantage, because the DVD had superior sound quality and superior audio quality, and, well, it's the same thing, and superior video quality, so it's so much crisper that you could just see the relative advantage was there, so you have that. Okay? Now, I know if you're looking at it, there might be other options that could work in that situation, but I did not put those options in the question, so I'm not going to try to trick you like that. 22, in which phases of the product life cycle do firms typically use differentiation strategies? I talked about that before. That is C, the introduction and growth phase. 23, the University of Illinois decides to develop a new online degree that is free for anyone to do. Which of the RWW screening questions would most likely to, screening questions would be most likely to stop the university from starting a free degree program? That would be B, can we win? Okay, because remember, is it real? That means, is it something we could actually do? Yeah, the U of I could totally have a degree, free degree online. They have tons of classes already filmed. I mean, think of everything that was filmed during COVID, right? So you have all that. Is it worth doing? Well, we could do that to help democratize education, so it could be worth it. Because think of all the great brand equity we gain and all the free publicity we get, all the good stuff we're doing. So then the answer would be B, can we win? That would be the reason why they might not do it. Because can we win is all about, can we make money? And if it's a free degree, where is the money going to come in from? Okay, so that would probably be the thing that would stop it, because we still have to pay for the studio and the people recording it and the editors, the professors that are making the videos and doing all the content. So there is that. So that would probably be the thing that actually would stop it. So you have to think about that. 24. If you want your product to be the market standard that all other products are judged against, would it be better to be the first mover or the second mover in the market? In this case, it's A, being the first mover, because then everybody compares everything else to you. I mean, think about it. If you're on Disney Plus or Paramount Plus or I don't know, Hulu or whatever, don't you compare it all to Netflix, the original streaming service? You're always thinking back to that. That is why you want to be the first mover, because then everybody compares everything else to you, okay? 25, which professor at the U of I has the best students ever? A, Professor Mark Wolters. That is the correct answer. I used to put two questions, like two answers on here, and students would get it wrong. I'm like, no, gotta use your brain here. 26, the Dill law offices are filled with law books. The employees wear ties and jackets. They answer the phone very professionally, and they have expensive, comfortable chairs in their waiting room. The Dill law offices are doing this in order to address which area of how products and services are different. That is A, the intangible nature of services, because you can't feel like smart and you can't feel success, right? But you can look and see like, wow, they must be pretty smart with all those law books behind them. They must have read those, and they got that nice suits. They must be making some money when they're suing people. So, hey, they could help me win too, right? And so you do those things to kind of represent some of the tangible stuff that's out there, because you can't really see the intangibles, okay? So that's one thing to think about. 27, do not worry about 27. 27 is not in the exam because that's from a branding chapter. But if you want the answer, 27 is B, but it's not in the exam, so don't worry about it. 28, Jaguar wants, that's the key, Jaguar wants their cars to be seen as the premium luxury car in the car market. This thing would relate to which of the 5 C's of pricing? That is B, company objectives, because Jaguar wants to be seen a certain way, so they're going to price themselves a certain way. Okay, so company objectives B. 29, in January, the iPhone 6 cost $199 when it was first released. In March, the iPhone 6 cost $99 to attract new customers. In October, the iPhone 6 cost $25 as the new iPhone is released. So their new one comes out. So what happens is you're doing what's called price skimming. You're skimming off different levels. Who wants to pay $199 for it? We'll have them buy for the first 3 months. Then they've all bought. Okay, let's move down to $99. Oh, then people will buy. The people that pay $99 will buy that. Then we'll move to $25. And you do that. You'll see that a lot in technology stuff. That's why when the new iPhone comes out, you know the old iPhone is going to drop in price, and some people are okay with that. They'll just buy the older model. Okay, we're moving on to number 30. Number 30, when Walgreens advertises their $1 gallon of milk prices, where their competition sells it for $4 per gallon, they do it to bring customers in to buy the cheap milk with the hope that customers will buy other higher priced goods like candy, cards, alcohol. This is an example of what kind of pricing strategy. That would be D, leader pricing or loss leader pricing, okay? So you'll see that, and sometimes you'll see, well, it's not really leader pricing, but it gets you in the door. Is you ever notice when you go to a Walgreens or a CVS, the pharmacy is not in the front. The pharmacy is in the back of the store, because then you have to walk through the store. And it's hard to walk by all those Reese's peanut butter cups and candies and you know, other things and not pick something up. So they're not dumb. They're not dumb. But anyway, 30 is D. 31, the collection of data or big data by firms can be used to develop new ideas and ways to help customers and learn more about customers. Here's the key. The collection of this large amount of data is called what? That is D, data warehousing. The collection is data warehousing. Now, when you use that data, that comes in 32. When firms analyze big data and come up with new insights, this analysis of data is termed what? That is called B, data mining. So if you think about it, think of all the data as like a big mountain, right? And so you have this big collection of data, and then you drill down, you mine down into it to find the trends and stuff. That's why it's called data mining, okay, to find those trends. 33, determine the types of media that will be used in an advertising campaign and the frequency of advertisement in these different media fit into which part of the development of an ad campaign. That would be A, evaluate and select media, okay? Really important to do this, so you make sure you're choosing the right medium to use to get for the right audience in the budget that you can afford. So that is 33 is A. 34, when customers expect a certain level of service standards, for example, a clean hotel room with fresh pillows and toilet paper, but the firm delivers a different level of service standards, dirty room, use toilet paper rolls. This is an example of what gap in the gap model. That would be B, standards gap. Because here we're specifically talking about service standards and standards we're expecting. That's why it goes in there. That's why sometimes I kind of think of service standards the standards gap is a subset of the knowledge gap. So when you're talking about service standards, it's going to be your standards gap. Okay. So 34 is B. 35, which is not a job of a distribution center. Look, distribution centers can do a lot of different things. Doesn't mean they do them all, but they actually can do all these things. Manage inbound logistics, receiving and checking shipments. Yep. Getting merchandise floor ready. Yep. So all the above could be jobs for a distribution center. So 35 is D. 36, KPMG and EY accounting firms are famous for their ability to find and train the best students to hire that turn into fantastic workers and eventual partners. I'm looking at you. Which part of KPMG and EY's value chain is adding value in the firm in this situation? That is C, the human resource management. Okay, because they're out there finding those people that can become good accountants and good partners, right? So they train them up. So that's C, that is adding value. 37, Jimmy John's Sandwich Shop is famous for its freaky fast delivery system. Well, it's been a while since those days. Fun fact, I used to only order Jimmy John's at lunch because I don't think I had time for it, and it would be 7 minutes from when I'd order it till it'd be in my office, and now it's about 25 minutes. So not as freaky fast as it used to be here. So anyway, Jimmy John's Sandwich Shop is famous for its freaky fast delivery system that gets sandwiches to their clients extremely fast. This is an example of which part of the value chain adding value to the customer or firm. That is outbound logistics. So the fact they're getting to you quickly is adding value. Maybe you don't like Jimmy John's, maybe it's not your favorite sandwich, but if it gets there in 7 minutes, I don't care. I have time to eat it. That gives me value, as opposed for it showing up during class and it just sits in front of my desk and one of my coworkers takes it. So you see there's the value added right there. So 37 is A. 38, the new Wolters World website helps you prepare for studying abroad by talking about issues such as course selection abroad, how to fight homesickness, learning a foreign language, how to meet people abroad, and much more. So please visit our news site. This is an example of what kind of advertisement? That is C, informative advertising. I'm not comparing it to anybody else. I'm just informing you what's on that website, what you can do on that website, so it's informative advertising. Now, 39 is a different kind of advertising. 39, our Arm & Hammer cleaner kills twice as much bacteria as our competitors. This is an example of what kind of advertisement? That is A, persuasive advertising, because I'm trying to persuade you to buy the Arm & Hammer over our competitors because we kill twice as many bacteria as our competitors, okay? So you're having this kind of comparison. You're trying to persuade them. That's what you're going to do. Okay, so 39 is A. Next up, ooh, last page. Oh, that's right. So it jumps from 39 to 47 because 40 through 46, those were all questions from branding, and that's not in this exam, so don't worry about it. 47, Mark buys children's winter clothing in April when they are on clearance sales. The children's store sells all their winter outfits on deep discounts in the spring. This is an example of what kind of pricing tactic? Seasonal discounts. I mean, honestly, there's better times to buy products. Look, if you want to get a new computer, buy it when school starts up in August and September because there's usually back to school deals. You want to get a good TV, like great price on a TV, you buy it around the Super Bowl because that's when people are getting the big TVs for the big Super Bowl parties. That's the best time to buy it. And so you'll see these seasonal discounts, okay? So remember that. So 47 is C. 48, how can companies achieve improved service recovery with customers? Basically, how can they unscrew up? Look, listen to your customers, resolving their customer problems quickly, providing a fair solution to customers. That means D, all of the above increase service recovery. Those are all things that you can do to make things right, okay? 49, Wolters World buys t-shirts from Campus Sportswear. When Mark buys 20 t-shirts, he pays $10 per shirt. However, he buys 50 shirts, he pays $8 per shirt. This is an example of what kind of pricing tactic by Campus Sportswear. That would be quantity discounts, right? So, hey, you buy more, we give you less. I mean, I was buying Apple Jacks yesterday, and it was like $3.49 for the normal box or $4.39 for like a box that held twice as much. I'm like, yeah, I'll get the super family size. Why not, you know? So quantity discount D is 49. And then 50, AT&T, Verizon, and Sprint control the vast majority of the mobile phone market. This would mean that the mobile phone carrier industry is found to be in what type of competition? That would be D, oligopoly, because if you only have a few firms that control the market, it's oligopoly. If only one firm does, it's a monopoly. And if you have perfect competition, things moving out. But here, sadly, it's not perfect competition or monopolistic competition, it's an oligopoly. Okay, so there you go, exam 3. There is another exam from the back of the book. That video is also there. I'll put that, it might be showing up somewhere around right here. Right now you can do that to watch that one and know what to do. But I wish you good luck on exam 3. I know you'll do great. I have supreme confidence in your ability. So have a great time, and I'll say bye from here in my library. Bye.